special circuit I need.
What happened? I suddenly feel so good-natured.
Obviously this circuit modulated your personality.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the MS-B49A and B50A. This is their take on a Gears and a Windcharger. Very G1-esque look to them, and I've got to say that this set isn't a whole lot different from the first release. It's kind of an excuse for them to put out another set, but there are some differences and changes. I am going to do comparison to this, and that is one thing that if you put the TH in reviewer code when you buy, it shows you. I want to say thanks to everyone that's done that, so I can actually do comparisons like this, because I usually don't like to pick up second of the same exact figure. But we're going to get a look at this. I did get this at Shows. I have a link down below where you can get yours. But anyway, let's get and take a look at this metallic set reissue coming up. First up here is the box, and you do get to see a very G1-esque type of box, but no window. You don't get to see the figure when the box is closed. This side shows Gears, this side shows the Windcharger in the alt mode. Yeah, we get tech specs, and you don't need a decoder on this. Pretty cool. Looking good. Very classic. I'm going to start out with their Gears, and he does look really good. I got to say, they've done a good job on this figure, and I like the proportions. I like the design cues. I like pretty much everything about it. It's kind of the same mantra with Magic Square. Now, it is still kind of a flat plastic, which I was kind of hoping for. A brighter, shinier, more metallic look to it. Really, the only difference when we get to the comparison is the metallic in the face, chest, waist piece, legs, and I think it's about it. So he does still look amazing. And if you're wanting a very G1 cartoon representation, he still looks very, very cartoon, in my opinion. That little bit in there, you do see that kind of carry over for the alt mode, and there's the back. And you see the wheels still really clean all over for it being such a small figure, and the engineering on it pretty good. So that is a nice looking figure. Let's get into articulation, then we'll do the Windcharger, and then we'll do like a side-by-side double comparison. Alright, so the head, side to side, not really any up and down. Shoulder goes on a double kind of shoulder there. It goes up that high. And then 360, of course. Bicep swivel, of course. That's as far as you're going to get. And then the hand, side to side. That's it. That's all you'd really expect with the Legends. You do get the waist swivel and a very extreme, typical Magic Square ab crunch out to the side. And then nice little tiny hip flap. So you don't always get a little hip flap in these. Tiny little hip flap. That's nice. And it does the whole Takara move with the leg. So it's great. You can go all the way out there. Side to side right here with the thigh swivel. Really good range in the knee. And a little bit going on with the foot. It's it moves with the heel spur. So you get quite a bit of range, and you get a lot of stability out of this little guy. So loving everything about that. Pretty good figure overall. And let's take a look at the Windcharger, and then we'll take a look at comparisons for both of these guys. Here is the Windcharger, and another one that looks pretty good. The only thing design-wise that I would say is a negative, I guess I'll get the negative out of the way. I don't really feel like he has real feet. He's the only thing. You saw it with the Gears. He has actual feet. This one, not real feet. Now, that would probably add more complexity to it, more complexity to the transformation, and I'm kind of okay with that. And just get right into it. The feet, there's this little tab right here, which kind of folds up. You need to fold it down, like down a click, and then bring it back up, and it will give it stability. Without that tab there, he is very, very back heavy. So that tab's got to come down a bit and kind of protrude a little bit underneath the foot to give him that stability, and it gives you a little bit of option for standing. Without doing something with that, he's going to fall backwards on his back, but the fact they put it in there, it's not really a foot. Okay, so getting into looking at this guy, I think he looks fantastic. Just a great looking figure. He is probably a little beefier. No, not really. Not really that beefy, actually. Because in my mind, I kind of think some of these designs of Magic Square are a little beefier than maybe a New Age would do, or maybe a little beefier than the animation model. But no, I think he actually does look kind of sleek and looks pretty good. I got these side tabs kind of coming undone on me just a little bit from all the movement around, but just tab them back in. But yeah, I think he looks great. He looks exactly like character, very G1-esque in that respect. If you were to look at him with that as a face, how close can we get the face to even focus? He's got a tiny little face. Now he doesn't have extra heads. We'll see the extra accessories here in just a little bit before we get into the comparisons, I guess. And then here's back. Very, very clean figure. And it's interesting too, because these are mini bots. They're completely different figures. I don't really see much, if any, reuse at all on these parts, but yet sort of similarities in sort of design, the way they do it. But yeah, looks really good overall. The silver isn't even really all that silver. I actually think this silver on him works even better than the silver on Gears, but they still look great with the silver. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get into comparisons, then we'll do the accessories. All right, so the first comparison is going to be their Gears, and this one on the left is the first issue that they put out. Looking at them side by side, the camera maybe is picking it up a little bit. There are, well, two major differences. The major difference is from where it's kind of a creamy white look to the face, chest, legs, waist. It's silver over here. And it's kind of like a metallic. It's got a little bit of reflection to it. But that's the major difference in these figures. And then the second one is, on this one, the red is just a little bit brighter. And I kind of like the brighter red on this. I mean, it's not a lot. It's maybe 5 to 7% brighter than what we had over here. So they both look great. They both look fantastic. But they have to, I guess, justify some difference between their releases. And there's enough difference you can tell the difference. Actually, if you had them in hand, I don't know if you would tell in hand as much as side by side. And here we go with the Windcharger, and I guess you could say the same exact thing. The reds are a little bit brighter, and that silver versus is the creamish white color that is on the thighs and legs. So not a huge difference overall, and I actually think both look good. You can't go wrong with either set, in my opinion. If you want one that you want to look cartoon, they both look cartoon in my mind, just slight variations of it. But from that, not much of a difference. I guess I show the back here. Not much difference at all. In fact, I don't think you'd notice any difference in the car mode, because aside from maybe the front grille, in the alt mode, I don't think you'll notice much of a difference. And let's bring this guy in here too. I didn't show that on this. It's almost the exact same color of blue and the exact same windshield. Usually when they do these metallic repaints, the windshields look different, but the windshield did not look different on that. So that, and you can see it shine through. The windshields look the same, like the mirrors, the windows, side windows, and windshields and stuff. Anyhow, very small differences. If you missed the first run, this is a good chance to get it again. And another good shot here so that you can kind of see the differences. The inside one is the new set. The outside one is the old set. And also my obligatory clickbait thumbnail. It's got to get made somehow. Now for accessories. And I want to do accessories this way because of the fact that I wanted to make sure I had the right guns on these guys. And there are no faces or really any other accessories other than the gun for the Windcharger here. So here he is, and there's his gun, and it's very simple, very plain, and it's got a little bit of a shine to it. And with all that's going on, I'm not really getting a good focus on that focus. It's not focusing that well on that thing, but yeah, it's not really anything amazing on his gun. Gears, on the other hand, he's got a gun, and his gun, and I believe in alt mode, I can't remember if it stores away. But and it's got a little tabs on the side maybe. But this is Gears' gun. Sort of stick that thing in that tiny little hole there. But there it is. And Gears, there's his face, but he has two other faces. So all the extra faces go to Gears. This one is a cartoon face, and they just pop out and plug in. It's not a big deal. I find that if I pop it out, it's going to fly across the room. I think that the one that's in is perfect for what he's got going on. But we also have this, so I don't mind this at all. This is a nice, easy way to do things. I hate it when they overcomplicate how you do stuff like this, but you just untab that hand, tab this in, and he's got his welding tool. So there you go for the accessories. Let's get into the alt mode. All right, so here they are in their alt modes. I think they look fantastic. Good looking alt modes. And here's what I think. I think I'm gonna keep the metallic ones in the alt mode. And I'm just gonna say straight up, there is no real difference other than, no, there's no difference other than a slight difference in red in the alt modes. And of course the hood or the grill, slightly more metallic. So I think that these work better in the alt mode, which is not that big of a deal. Not that big of a difference, but they do look fantastic. So Windcharger real quick. We've got some paint right here, paint on the windows, and then that's about it. But it looks really clean, looks really nice. We're gonna compare that to G1 here in just a little bit. And here we go. That looks nice too. So I'll be able to pull these out for comparisons and stuff now, because now I got an extra set and I like to have that for comparison. But these look good in both modes, really. I mean, that's right on with what you would expect. Did not expect this video to get this long, so I'm going to try to move quicker. But I do want to show comparisons, then I show one fun thing at the end. Here's the G1 comparison, and I probably should show some Masterpiece, but I don't have it up here. But so it's a different kind of blue, and it still keeps the spirit of the original G1, just a little bit more like a real truck. I don't know. You might say that the G1 one, of course, more like a monster truck. Should have been a bigger figure, probably. But anyhow, let's look at the Windcharger compared to G1. They're kind of in one shot. You can see it all. So there it is, and that's pretty close too. So the original one was kind of fun. It was a pretty fun little toy back in the day. This one feels more like a real car you see on the streets. These are kind of, this feels like it's souped up with like a bigger extra suspension, all that kind of stuff. Do want to show one more thing. This is comparison. You can fit the weapon on here, and I think the original weapon was blue for this, and I didn't pull the original weapons out. I left the original weapons in the box. I was afraid I was going to lose them, but in alt mode these kind of clip in, so that was kind of cool. Here they are with a few other Legends friends. I think is this New Age and Old New Age, something like that. They fit in just fine. And just for fun, this is how they look with the Sighing Culture Metroplex, which I still haven't decided if I want to keep that in alt mode or go back to bot mode. But you can see Windcharger right there, and then Gears right there. Looks really good in this display, but I think it's a great set. I think these are really great looking figures, and if you missed out on the first run, pick these up. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. I did get this to shows you. I'm going to have a link, of course, to that. But I wouldn't pass on these. I really like the Magic Square designs, and the transformations, not so much fun on these, but the figures look great in both modes, and that's kind of why the transformation is kind of out of this world. But I'm curious what you guys think. Were you in on this? In on the first set? Do you like this metallic? Are you waiting to see if they get a shiny one? See, and that's the other thing, is I was hoping they were all shiny like this Prime right here, but that's not what we got. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, like, subscribe to Deer Hanger out.
No problem, Starscream. I love being a slave. But you better look behind you.
Do you seriously expect me to fall for such a stupid trick?
Guess you got a bang out of that, huh?
Very hilarious. You know what a blast like that does to your sequential camshaft.
Dad, it's an SOS from Bally. Listen.
Yeah, those robot bedbugs aren't anything special.
We got them outgunned and out. I sure hope Prime got Sparkplug's message to meet us here.